One question you may ask is, what's so different about plant cells?
Plant cells are different because they just are. Look at it. It just looks different from an animal cell. There's all these special things. But what's a good way to remember it? The 3 C's. If you remember the 3 C's, you'll never make a mistake. So what's so different about plant cells? Let's start. We'll see. Can you identify a few things here? This looks different. This area here looks different. This looks different. And this looks a little thicker out here. Good job. You've identified it. So here are the 3 C's. The first is the cell wall. It's a wall surrounding the plasma membrane. We should change this to plasma membrane. Helps support and maintain the shape of the cell. When you deliver a rose to somebody you want to profess your love to, that's why the rose isn't just hanging like a string. It's actually standing up, and it's fantastic. The cell wall helps with that. And there's probably some water in there as well that's keeping the cells turgid. So that's your first C. Cell walls are in plant cells, not in animal cells. Not in animal cells. Bacteria cells do have cell walls, but they're made of a different material. Can you write it down? See if you can pronounce this or figure how it's spelled. Peptidoglycan is what's found in bacterial cell walls. One more time. Peptidoglycan. Plant cells, their cell walls are made up of cellulose. Okay. The next C is the chloroplast. The chloroplast is an organelle that, if you had to describe it, it looks like little coins stacked up on top of each other. If we wanted to use our breakfast analogies, I don't know what that would look like. Please tell me what you think this looks like on a breakfast dish. It doesn't have to be an American breakfast dish. It can be a Japanese breakfast dish or anything. Okay, let's think international here. International mindedness. Chloroplasts are where photosynthesis takes place. They contain chlorophyll. You should know about that. And chlorophyll is actually a green pigment. That's the reason why plants that do photosynthesis, or many of them, look green. There are other pigments, but chlorophyll is the main one. So that's the second C that separates plant cells, sets them apart from animal cells. Let's move on to the third C. The third C is kind of cheating because it's 2 words. It's actually a vacuole, but it's this presence of a large central vacuole. So I'm allowed to call that a C, a large central vacuole. So it's a membrane-bound space that stores water, nutrients, and wastes, and it also helps to keep the cell rigid. So there's a lot of fluid in there. So if you don't water a plant for a long time, you can actually see under a microscope that the vacuole actually starts to separate from the outside, and the cells become flaccid as opposed to turgid. Flaccid, F-L-A-C-C-I-D, as opposed to turgid. Those are the 3 things that make cells, plant cells, different from animal cells. Okay, check out the next video. The next video will have a few comparisons, animal cells versus plant cells, to summarize, and then also we'll compare prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, at least the main things that you need to know to separate them apart. All right.